Hey planty people, welcome back to my loud ass patio. Today's video we are eliminating mealy bugs on my Hoya Crimson Princess once and for all. I'm so fed up with them. It started off as like a small infestation. But what started off as a small infestation has become a very large infestation. And every single day that not every single day, on the days that I do my plant care and I come around and I check on this plant, it is always more and more. It has more and more mealies on it, and I'm so sick and tired of it. So today we are going to obliterate them and wash them away once and for all. I'm so sick and tired of seeing mealies on this plant because I know that it would be thriving so much more than it already is. Like it's still doing really well, like decent. It's putting out new growth, but I know that it would be growing so much more, especially during this time of the year. I know it would be growing so much more if it didn't have this problem, this infestation. So I'm tired of it. So I'm going to remove this guy from his pot, take off as much dirt and soil off the roots and off the plant in general as I can, because we don't want any mealies left in the soil because they lay eggs and it's nasty and we don't want to have any part of that. And the sun's coming out in a very awkward spot, but that's okay. So Caitlin from Plant Life in the Tropics actually just put out a video today. I mean, it'll be tomorrow by the time this video goes up, but for me it's today. And she showed us how to, her homemade way of getting rid of thrips and mealies and in general. And I was so inspired by that video, and I was just like, I'm getting rid of mealies off of this plant today. And I just feel so good today. I am in a great headspace. I had one of those showers that you just feel like you have 100 pounds lifted from your shoulders. That was the shower that I had today. It was amazing. I'm going to go ahead and start depotting this guy. So it's a really nice big full pot. Definitely gotten bigger since I've had it, and it's got a nice long vines to it. But literally, I don't know, you probably can't see it because the sun's being a brat right now. It was out of my way, now it's totally in my way. But I don't know where I was going with that. Brain fart. But yeah, it's definitely grown since I've gotten it, but I just know that it could be doing so much better. So let's go ahead and start releasing the beast. Getting those mealies out of there. There's even mealies all in the bucket, in the pot, which means I'm gonna have to really give that a scrub as well. Do you guys struggle with mealies too? I feel like that is my only real pest problem. Inside I have a little bit, it's not even horrible, I wouldn't say, but oh my gosh, look at those roots. It took the freaking bottom of the pot with it. Somebody else just did a video where I watched, and their plant did the exact same thing, where it took the saucer. I'm not upgrading her to a larger pot though. I think that she can still survive in the size that she's in, especially since we're going to traumatize her a little bit now by trying to get as much dirt off as we can. I'm so excited to see no pests on this. Anyway, I was totally talking about this a second ago before the pot distracted me. I feel like mealies are really the only pests that I really deal with, and it's really mainly on my Hoyas. So I don't know what it is about Hoyas being so prone to mealies, but I'm not having it. I do inside have a little bit, I wouldn't even say it's a problem. That's what every addict says it's not a problem. But it's definitely not a problem, but I do have some fungus gnats here and there. I wouldn't say that it's more than like 5 at a time or so, but it's still, you know, enough to be a nuisance. But not as much of a nuisance as mealy bugs. This guy is really, really root bound and doesn't want to let go of any of the soil. Come on, honey. It'll be better for you. I have a funny story to tell. So, in my line of work, which is retail, depending on what shift that I work, but if I work the morning shift where I come in at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I have to help unload our delivery, which is a really big delivery. You have to use a jack, which is one of those big like metal things that you like, it has hydraulics and you have to like lift pallets out of the delivery truck and pull it inside. Well, I've never had any problems other than like one other time doing that. And today, it was hilarious. I'd already pulled like 2 pallets, and then on my 3rd pallet, which was a really big, heavy one, the truck driver was like, oh, because it was just me and one other person pulling it. My coworker and assistant manager, Mike, he was pulling it with me. But it was the last one and I was pulling it, and the truck driver said, oh, so he left you with the big one. And I was like, oh, don't worry about it, I'm strong. My neighbor came outside. But she went back inside now. I said, oh, don't worry about it, I'm strong. And I pull it, I backpedal just a few steps, and I slip. I like completely lose my my traction and my footing, and I fall on my butt. And thankfully that this pallet wasn't more like towards the back of the truck, because if it would have been towards the back of the truck, it would have had so much more speed and momentum coming from it. But thankfully it was a delivery that was pushed more towards the front of the truck, or you know what I mean, closer to the door, the exit of the truck. Sorry, the neighbors came back out again, so I got stage fright. But I think I left off with saying that, yeah, I fell on my butt after I lost traction. And like I said, thankfully it was coming out slowly, so I was able to like tuck and roll out of the way so the pallet could keep going and run past me and go run into the wall and hit the wall instead of like my body. We actually just had somebody who did that recently and wasn't so lucky and like broke his wrist. Got almost all of the bulk of the soil removed, but I am still going to take it inside and give it a nice little bubble bath so that she can feel right at home. I don't know why I said that. That doesn't make any sense. But look at those roots. Like, there are so many roots. It is insane. Alright, I think I've got enough off. I think I'm gonna go ahead and give her a nice little shower, nice little bath, to see if we can just help her out a smidge. Don't worry, I'm gonna take you guys with me. Alright, so now for the fun part. I hope that you guys can actually hear me because there's so many people driving around at the moment it's ridiculous. But I really prefer to pot outside because it does get so messy, as opposed to doing it inside in the carpet where I'll have to vacuum when I could just sweep it out the door. But this was very, very time consuming, so I hope that you guys don't have to do this. I hope that mealies and thrips and everything else stays away from you guys, because this sucked a lot. But my favorite thing to do is to repot plants. It just makes me happy. I hope you guys can relate. Right now I'm using, my potting mix is a third perlite, a third peat, and a third orchid bark, the coarse blend. I usually just mix up a big bunch for like this is kind of like my all-purpose soil. I don't usually make it soil specific for a plant. This is just generally what I use. And for the most part, I don't think any of my plants have really complained. Get it nice and filled up. So now I'm just going to go ahead and place a plant in there and see if we can get everything to go back in as nicely as it was. This is the one really bad thing about large plants, is if you're having to do something like this, such an aneurysm to repot. So I'm kind of on the hunt for new content to watch. I feel like I don't want to say I'm getting bored with the people I'm watching, because I'm definitely not. I think, oh my goodness, the sun. I think I'm just wanting to watch more TV or more YouTube, and I don't have enough to keep me going throughout the day anymore. So if you guys know any, what horrible lighting, if you guys know of any cool plant tubers or YouTubers in general, like, I love to laugh, and I also love to get knowledge at the same time. So if somebody can make something funny but also be informative, I'm here for it. But yeah, list that down below in the comments. This is horrible. The sun is horrible. This is horrible. It's a horrible situation. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and sprinkle soil on top and see if we can make this any better. I think I might have needed to have put less soil in to begin with. You guys probably know that, and we're probably screaming at me like, no, that's too much. Too late. I hate how this is looking. It looked like originally it looked like I had a nice, really big, bushy plant. Now it just looks really scraggledy, and I hate it. Well, we're starting over. I think it's okay to admit failure as long as you can come back from it and it can make you a better person for it. Okay, I think it's looking okay now. I don't like how the foliage now has like a ton of soil all over it after I just spent so much time cleaning it off and everything, but I'm sure at some point it'll all come off. So I'm finding that the foliage that is on the vines is a little heavy, so I'm having to pack the soil in a little bit more so to reduce the vines falling out. I am just like absolutely messy right now. So I think I'm gonna do a Hoya wish list video where I talk about like my top 10 or top 20 or something like that on Hoya. Would you guys be interested in that? Or, because I think like in a way you guys could like learn of different Hoya. It could be good and bad for both of us. Because then if you learn about new Hoya, that makes you want new Hoya. And it's just like a downhill spiral from there. I'm filthy. But this is the end result. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite thing in the world, especially because all the foliage is so incredibly dirty right now. I'm going to try and do something about that whenever I give her a good rinse, or when I give her a good drink, because I always like to water my plants after I repot them. Yeah, I think that will work out in the end. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did like it, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you really like the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're almost done with 31 days of continuous videos, of daily uploads. So don't forget to keep watching. We're not done yet. We're still going. We're still a trucking. So if you guys have any video requests, don't forget to leave that down below as well.